I'm too lazy to perform standing up. Sorry, I'm too tired. And I hate this TED thing about performance in 18 minutes, you know what I mean? Like being smart, being intelligent. It's so painful. It's years that I'm thinking about it, and I'm starting to hate the word project too. When somebody comes to me and they say their project, I feel a strong age. Because I ask let's go to the etymology. Let's go Google, since they own us. To make, it's from Latin, of course, the country where I'm from, because something thrown forth, projectus, stretch out, thrown forth, forward, plan, a scheme. I don't think that anybody who thinks in this moment of incredible transitions been going on since at least 30 years. It's impossible. It's a marvelous and terrifying intersection between technology, humanity, and speed that nobody experienced in the past with such a velocity, you know what I mean? So, first of all, if somebody say that they know something about the future, they're wrong. If they say that they can project something forward, they're wrong. There are or thieves that wants to steal something from you, or people who improvise, or people who just are fools or corporate people who needs to get their monthly wage in saying something plausible. But everybody I know that has in Italy we say some salt in their head, came to the conclusion since 10 years that there is no possibility of imagining something in the next 6 months. That's it. And I'm glad that also in the Iliad the court refused the word trendsetting, that there should be something like an incredible offense to their amazing intelligence that should just show up. So, the only attitude we can have in the most sincere and clear way is to be, because we are completely unprepared. Let's go to the word preparation. The word preparation in Latin means setting the table, ready. Pre means before. Per is literally like parade, showing things in an order. So we can also say there is no table that can be settled down or prepared in these days in every possible field of knowledge and business. Once you prepare the table has been completely blown away and scrambled by the advance and speed of technology. That means finally, the end of what we called the Excel or the Excel cowboys, the PowerPoint cowboys who took over practically every management place in corporations and industry, because they still put numbers and they think that the algorithm gives them the right number to show up in order to make people reasonable and thinkable. But that's ridiculous. Luckily, few signals from the world of thinking start to spread the word, not on preparation because it's too cruel, it's too real, like Slavoj Žižek will say, but at least improvisation. We improvise every day, pretending that we are doing something professional. We improvise because we're dealing and we're facing with completely unknown situation. I was a managing director of a record company in the 90s, and of course, around 97, 98, all of a sudden, what we produced, literally, physically, was blown away, of course, by digital distribution and copying and blah, blah, blah. We have no idea how to survive, like the producer of films for photography, like Kodak. And the only thing we can do was to experiment, was to failing cheap, was to understand what the consumer, where the consumer, like strange fishes were moving. And what kind of food, of new food, they need. Food that can give us revenues instead of zero. And after 13 years, finally, some reports from the US market told us some months ago that finally some money, I mean the sign plus, near a number, reappeared in the history, but this has been gained with less 70% of the profits and less 70% of the working force. And this working force simply disappeared. And the fact that it's been substituted by digital company is ridiculous. Because if you think about the number of employees of Facebook in the Italian branch is 10. And the number of employees that Spotify is employing in our country and has been recently launched is 3. You realize that this fable, this fantastic idea of having a re-engineered working force and the idea of lifelong learning is not working for some professionals. The same thing, of course, is happening to publishing. Of course, there is a digital migration, but it's a slower process. But simply the industrial model of publishing is completely blown away, because the number of people working for the publishing industry right now, from New York Times, New York to Vogue Italia, is outnumbered in comparison to the net profits. The net profits coming from paper or coming from digital. The entire business model has to be reconsidered But while is reconsidered, technology and the consumer behavior is changing in a way that is not projectable. So cannot be rationalized. That's why the only way is improvisation. We have to improvise. This morning they told you that it's a good idea to go wrong, using the other part of your brain. It's 10 years that we found in the shelves of the airport books about lateral thinking. We have been lateral already. It doesn't work. There's a beautiful book called Free Play coming out in the US at the moment by a music player called Stephen Rachmaninovic, and it's about improvise and going back to a strange word that Lewis Carroll invented, of course, the writer and mathematician wrote Alice in Wonderland, invented, called galloping. Galloping is the way children are moving noisily. And it's the only way we can do to survive this incredible and fantastic in the same time moments of humanity that is completely unknown to us. Not only the fact that we are not alone in this world, we're not alone in the planet Earth, doesn't mean that we are sensible toward animals. Means that there are two populations who are growing with an incredible speed. One population is, of course, the one composed by the millions of artificial intelligences. They are now living with us, like this. This is a basket full of artificial intelligence, of algorithms. They are so intimate to me that maybe are better than me. When you think about the fact that the game Ruzzle, invented in a basement by some, let's say, Swedish punks, in the mid-December, it's been downloaded around, by a number of units, around 500,000. In late January, it has been downloaded by 60 million of people. The only study that is possible to apply to this kind of literally influence is coming from the study that has been literally invented to study the aviary influence, the NH1H, what was the name of the aviary influence, and the study that has been the basis of the narrative of the not so great Steven Soderbergh movie Contagion. There are no marketing studies ready for a kind of spread like this. So that means that 60 million, let's say, of smartphones and being invaded by a new form of life that has nothing to do with the human life. Dot. That's reality. It's not like projecting. Nothing projected anybody in the Swedish basement. It just happened. And it happened in a speed and on a level that has been completely unknown since now. In the same time, real viruses and real bacteria are spreading in an incredible way in trying to beat medicine. And this strange and incredible struggle has no possibility of being detected. Nobody knows if an international intelligence will beat us, because now IA is clearly smarter and faster than we are. The algorithm under Google is clearly smarter than us, and is shaping our intelligence since more than 10 years. When we think about being intimate and sharing this beautiful intimacy on Facebook, we are working free for a corporation that is gaining money without employing people. That's it. When we are tweeting, we are working for free for Mr. Jack Dorsey. This has been invented in Italy in a magnificent and terrifying way, by a guy who later ran, and is still run, the country for 20 years, Mr. Silvio Berlusconi. Mr. Berlusconi invented the commercial television against national television in 81, and he said in 81 that his idea was to transform TV viewers into workers, because when they were watching television and the audiometer were going up of 2 points, those 2 points was clearly millions for his pocket. Simple. So if we think about the fact that you are exploring the magnificent opportunities of the digital world, think about the fact that 0.5% you are a worker, you are a submitted, and maybe we were talking fetishism, literally a servant, not only of people who are gaining money over your emotions, but of algorithms and artificial intelligence that don't care about you. They don't care about you at all. So this is literally the landscape that we are living in. So telling you what is the future of publishing is ridiculous. I can tell you about the fact that we won for War Italy last Saturday the silver medal for the best iPad application of magazines in the world. In 6 months' time, it's gotta be blown away. Both on a technical, graphical, and entertaining level. And we gotta put ourselves again into work to try to keep up with the rhythm. Nothing lasts more than 2 months right now. We just won the best Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest application in Europe. It's not worth anything. We are keep up with the circulation. Newsstands are closing in Italy. How can we sell the same amount of number of paper magazine, even if we are still selling on a good level, if 2,000 newsstands disappear during this recession? And it cannot be like maximum result that the circulation is less 2,000. How can we do? On wire.it, we have 1,200,000 users. It's not enough. Because we are not gaining enough money from advertising. I can move to China or India with all my experience. Do they want me?
Yeah.
No.